on too.
Let's do it.
Gonna have a party up in here then.
Yeah, let's party.
Gonna have a party, y'all. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Oh.
Hello.
Diva!
Give it to me. Give it to me. How about that interest, baby? Give it to me.
It is.
Do that intro, Unc. Do that intro, Unc.
Let me give her one. Good morning, Ron. Ladies and gentlemen from across the world, we are pleased to present and introduce the Diva, Natalie Eva Marie.
Yes, sir. Yeah, give it up, chat. Give it up, runners. Let's go.
Boys, I love that. I was just good with my little horns.
We can't. We gotta give you big horns.
There
How
you go.
you feeling? How you doing? Appreciate you taking time and hitting up the morning run.
Oh my God. You know, I love you. You know, I've been a fan of you for, I can't even tell you. It's been quite some time now. We'd be social media buddies. That's the beautiful thing about social media. We, we hear a lot of negatives, but that's a positive is I got to connect with someone like yourself, follow your journey. And now look at me sitting here talking to you guys, and congratulations on your 100th episode. That's amazing. So I'm feeling very blessed and honored to even be on here right now with y'all.
No, you have certainly blessed us, and you're exactly right. Social media, when used the right way, can just totally bring people together who may have otherwise not met, in person otherwise. And I remember our first DM, I was like, man, is this really my heroine or is this somebody playing?
Likewise, I'm right there with you because it's like it's cool. It's cool how people can connect through, like you said, using social media the right way is a beautiful thing.
Coach Prime is going to hop on with us as well. And one of the things that he's a big advocate of is that sober thinking. He would tell you he's never had to smoke or drink anything in his life. And I know that is there he is right there, one of your big passions, in life now is your Hopeaholics podcast, where you're helping people to recover and get on the best foot and keep going one day at a time. Talk to the people about your transitioning from actress, from model to sports entertainment, wrestling to recovery.
It's crazy that you say that because it's always life's funny because you're always able to see things and how they work out after you walk through certain things. And I never wrestled a day in my life. So the fact that God gave me that opportunity to go into the WWE makes sense to where I'm at today because that was the setup. That was the setup to show he gave me a very large platform that it would be a dishonor if I didn't share the glory that he has given me and has taken somebody that you wouldn't really think that I would have achieved. My first day on the job was Monday Night Raw and going to WrestleMania. And then to be able to be public with my sobriety journey is something that I used to live a double life. I didn't want anybody to know that that was something that I struggled with because, we like to put on a good front, pretend everything's all good. We got this, but you're slowly dying. That's why, I'm really honored to be on here because obviously Coach Prime is a huge someone I look up to because for somebody to be able to share his experience, strength, and hope, especially at such a peak highlight of his career where looking up from the outside, it's like, damn, he got everything. He's doing it, living. It's like, that's what we kind of think that is the epitome of success. But meanwhile, struggling inside. So if you can't live with yourself, if you're not at peace, it's going to be a long journey. So I'm very, I'm so thankful to God to put me in the position where I am today, where there ain't no shame in asking somebody for help. It's about action. Everything's action, action, action. If you want something in the gym, if you want to gain some muscle, well, you got to lift some weights. If you want to, one of Coach Prime's quotes that I love, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. When you play good, they pay good. I love that, So it just is all relative and kind of that's what happens. As long as you show up and you do the best that you possibly can, God will take care of the rest.
Love it. Love it.
Eva, can you tell us when was your first I made it moment? Like when were the lights the brightest and you just realized like, man, I'm here now?
You know what? I don't think I think because with age, comes a little bit of wisdom. So I think when I first initially got the call that I had gotten not only, the WWE contract, but also at the same time it coincided the reality show Total Divas. Right then and there, I was just so thankful because my ass was fresh out of rehab. I was only 5 weeks sober at the time. So that's why it's like my story is a true testament of God having his hand and me just taking that opportunity, because trust me, opportunity comes, but if you're not eyes aren't open and your ears, like you'll miss it. And then the next guy will get it. So once opportunity comes, because they're very few, sometimes the big ones, I was thankful enough that I was in the right mind to take that opportunity to the next level. And I felt like at that moment, I was like, oh, here we go, buckle up. But I don't think I've ever really felt, I've had really like major moments of like, wow, this is incredible. But I still don't think that I've made it because there's so much more that I want to do. And plus my family, shoot, I'm Mexican Italian. So my oldest brother still to this day, he'll call me up and I'll be like, oh, shoot, okay, what's up? And all he says to me on the phone is, you ain't shit, and then hangs up the phone. So, that's what I'm dealing with. And I'm the youngest of all boys. So I don't think if I ever got to a point where I made it, that's usually when God likes to humble you. So I try to stay even.
Amen.
Not too high, not too low. I just want to ride right here.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, on that not too high, not too low, I know one thing that you have gotten you on your journey is your faith, and you don't shy away from it. I remember the biblical story, Jesus seeing the two guys out there fishing, and he told them, put your nets down, I can make you fisher of men. You remind me of like whether it's a Jim Brown who at the height, stopped to say, I want to, pursue acting and help more in civil rights. Maya Moore, who stopped at her height, to pursue criminal justice. And like you say, here you were on Monday Night Raw, WrestleMania, and you had this bigger calling that you've been able to reach more people because of the first calling with wrestling. And a lot of people wrestle with, when they, no pun intended, when they hear that call to do something else, they want to keep doing what they're doing and not what he wants them to do. How was that internally?
I think that's the hardest thing, especially I think it's like my God is, he got a sense of humor too. So I think it's really ironic that the one thing that I used to hide from or have some type of embarrassment because I thought that it was a sign of weakness and all these like lies that the devil likes to take and consume your mind with is what now, like I can talk about God and my sobriety and the journey and everything looks very different for every other individual. I don't think there's one right way to do anything. However, if people want to ask what I do, then I have no problem sharing it. However, that wasn't the case for a very long time. And so I think the one thing that I was so ashamed of and embarrassed about is the one thing now that I came public on season 1 of Total Divas just because I wanted to get in the front of my own story because I didn't want to walk into a locker room and all of a sudden the girls are holding my mugshot and they're like, oh, Eva, what's this? And then I'm like trying to backtrack and be embarrassed. It's like you own your story. You own everybody. All of us have one. And so there's no shame in owning that. It actually is quite powerful and it's freeing because our secrets keep us sick. And, only God can judge me. So I think that it's wild that at the time obviously I called my parents and made sure they were cool because like I said, Mexican Italian, you don't put shit out on the street. And so I made sure that they were good with it. And obviously, they felt, confident in what I was doing. And so like fast forward to where I'm at now, it's like, that was God's setup for me, paving the way for me to just be a vessel and shine in the light as much as I possibly can in such a darkness, especially now.
Well, let me tell you this, as your big brother from another mother, one, you ain't shit. And then two, I want the people in the back to hear that again. Our secrets keep us sick.
Mm-hmm. Fact.
Yeah. Hit him with the.
He ain't lying.
Gotta hit him with the 1, 2.
Oh, that one. That's a bar there. Our secrets.
Let's go back because I'm a big wrestling fan, right? And if I say you live my dream, I gotta watch what I say on this show because if I say that, then Uncle Neely might say, "What? You were a diva? You wanted to be a diva, Chico?" So no, I wanted to be a wrestler.
Got you.
And you went through that. I think it was a 4-week wrestling camp.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that and how that has helped shape you and how tough that was to go through?
So that's what's wild is like the journey to get to WWE was such a. I don't think there will be another person that had my avenue because one, they don't do the diva searches anymore. Now everyone's called superstars, but at the time, they were doing, at all the major cities, they came to Los Angeles. I just went on an open audition. I was living the normal, typical LA life, you know, auditions during the day and then bottle service girl at night. And so I got this audition to come down to the headquarters in Los Angeles. And when I had no idea exactly what it was, because at that time I was 28. So I had been on a lot of auditions. And I remember my parents being like, because the goal was to be a professional soccer player. That was my dream.
Right.
And so that's why I love Prime too, because one of his things is, you know, you got to believe. If you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect somebody else to believe in you? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like that self-belief is imperative, obviously in a healthy manner. You don't want it to be
Right.
this like, where no one can stand you because you be, you know, talking too much about yourself. But you need that inner self belief, because there's going to be moments of doubt and insecurity, or where like just the day is not going your way and things are a struggle. So you have to be able to persevere and stand strong. But I walked into the building, I saw Hulk Hogan and up on the wall, and I was like, started to think like, oh my gosh, this is like WWF, what I used to watch back in the day with my brothers, because I shared a room with one of my brothers and we have bunk beds. So of course, you know, we're dropping elbows and doing the whole thing, or they're using me as the dummy. But so then I really started to think after that first audition. I was like, wow, God, if and I had just gotten out of rehab, by the way. So I was only 5 weeks sober at the time too. And I just started to pray saying, if you could give me this opportunity, I don't pray the way that I used to, which is like I used to treat God like a genie, like get me out of this jam. I'll never do this. God, come on, come through.
That's me.
Yeah.
While the bathroom was spinning, I was gripping the toilet.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I was like, wow, it will bring back that camaraderie that I missed so much by being on the field and in a locker room. Bring back the physicality, the competitiveness in the gym, just like giving me that direction and purpose to show up for. Then you get to perform in front of a live audience and build a character. And then on top of that, WWE does so much within the community. So my dad is a Vietnam veteran, served in the Marines. So anything that with our military is like really, really important to me. And WWE does a lot of community work. So I was like, damn, if I can like run with this has everything that I want to do infused into one. So let's run it. So as soon as I got the first call back, and then I got a second one and a third one, and then the last one, and the third one was kind of nerve-wracking because you had all the yes men in there. I remember Triple H, and they're all sitting there and kind of like, you know, you stand up front with a mic and they're just shooting like a million different questions at you. And then the last audition portion, which I always refer to it to like AAA baseball, right? So now NXT is obviously its own program. It's also televised. And so it's grown dramatically. But at the time, developmental was like you go to Tampa and you learn how to wrestle. You learn how to build a character. You learn how to work with, you know, all the different producers and how to storytell and how to actually like put a match together. So that was what the tryout was for, to get a developmental contract, which I refer to it like AAA baseball. And then you hope for the call up to the big leagues, which is Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. So after the 4 weeks, day one, I fell in love because I was like, this shit is wild. Like, this shit is so hard. Like, what have I gotten myself into? I'm a field athlete. I like to keep my feet on the ground, you know, not doing even just like forward rolls, backward rolls. I'm like, what? I remember it vividly. Like, my body was so sore. I couldn't even like lift my legs. It was wild, but I fell in love with it because I think looking back, you know, sports and athletics gave me so much purpose in my life. I like would get up to live for that, whether it's the way that I ate, the way that I was training, the way that I would show up for my teammates. And once that was removed, that's really where my addiction kind of like spun off, because I kind of lost who I didn't realize who I was. But walking and stepping into that ring, that first tryout, was something where it was humbling too, because I was horrible. It was just different. Your body's doing things that it's not used to. So after 4 weeks, boom, I got the opportunity. I got a developmental contract. 4 of us out of like 16 girls that tried out. And all that meant was you're packing everything up in LA and you're rolling the dice and you're moving to Tampa to see if you can kind of get this and see if they see something to bring you to the main roster, Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. But luckily enough, God was doing something behind the scenes, because Total Divas was about to pop. They were running it really quickly. And it was a last minute game time decision where they made a decision that instead of picking 2 girls that were already in the NXT program and bringing them up, they wanted 2 girls that were fresh out of the water, like knew nothing about the business, didn't know how to wrestle. Because obviously reality TV, they like drama too. So right out the gate, you're gonna get that, because I would feel some type of way all of a sudden. You work so many years trying to get up to the main roster, then you get there, and then now you have 2 kids that know nothing about the business and they're right there with you. So that's going to spark some animosity right off the get. And I think that's what they were kind of going for. So I went in on an audition right before I was supposed to move to Tampa, and they were moving so fast that I went in on a Friday. It was another time in my life where when I walked out, I was like, I killed that. Like I felt it in my entire body, it was the best feeling ever. And so the producer told me, hey, just so you know, we can't tell you about this, but it's moving really fast. So your life possibly can change within the next 72 hours. And I was like, oh shoot. Okay. Wow. So I drove up to the Bay Area because that's where I'm from. I was with my parents. I got a call on Saturday that I got the job. They mentioned something about dyeing my hair blonde, but I was like in a blackout because I was like, oh my God. Like this is like life changing. You have to think I was 28 years old, coming down to the wire of like, what am I going to do? I mean, I finished college. I graduated with a degree, but I was sharing a bed with my girlfriend that allowed me to stay there because, I put myself in some rough situations that it wasn't looking good for me. And I had too much pride to go back home to mommy and daddy, even though my parents are everything to me. They're my heroes, and they would have definitely let me move back in. But, sometimes we make our own decision choices, and it's not their fault that I was messing up. They instilled all of the morals and values in me to hustle and not be the person that I was becoming. So I got the call on Saturday. Boom. I was on a flight on Monday to New York for WrestleMania. First day on the job.
Wow.
Just like that. Never looked back.
And then Rihanna
Red, baby.
All red everything. Tell them how you decided that.
Okay, so at the time in WWE, there was a lot of girls that had left that were platinum blonde. So like when I joined the crew, everybody had like normal hair color, right? So they didn't want me to keep my black hair because it looked too much like the Bella twins. So they didn't want people to think this new girl and then get confused with the twins that were on the show and in the company for quite some time. So they asked me to go to platinum blonde. I'm like, honey, I'm Mexican Italian. I tried to be blonde in high school. It was just not a good look, and I'd be bald trying to make it platinum all the time. So I was listening to Rihanna's album on the cover. It's her Loud album, and she had that like crazy fire red hair. And I was in the hairdresser chair, and I was like, no, let's go Rihanna red. So it was like a ballsy decision, but I always think, but it also was the best business decision I had because there was nobody with colored hair in the roster at that time. Now you tune into WWE and it's like a Crayola box. But what I didn't realize at the time was I was making the choice for more like I'll be comfortable within my own skin with the red hair and think that I can maintain that way more than the platinum blonde. And obviously at the time being called divas is very much like that's what you instill, self-confidence and being okay within yourself. So that's how I was able to sell that to upper management before I lost my job by going against them, not doing the platinum and staying with the red. But yeah, that was a big moment for sure. So shout out to Rihanna.
Wow.
Inspired me.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Ella.
Speaking of inspiration, was there anybody from previous times in wrestling, whether it be male or female, any previous wrestlers that inspired you along your journey?
I mean, there's so many, just because as soon as I got the job, then that's when my homework really started taking place. Because like I said, it wasn't a disrespect to the company, but I wasn't a super fan. So I didn't have all of the historical knowledge. Of course, I watched it back in the day with like the Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and those like earlier on when it was just WWF. But there's so many different characters of like, you can look at a John Cena where he almost got cut. So his journey or Mike the Miz, same with him too. Like he's a kid from the reality show that just felt he like loved wrestling, loved the business.
Right.
And watching guys or the ladies too, where you dig deep and you have to be able to pivot, and that's like life. You got to be able to switch up things on a dime. And like John, his character that he obviously had played for decades, it took him a moment to even have that persona. But once he stepped into that, you know, then he killed and murdered it. And obviously it made the crossover just incredible. But I look at that because not only is the whole thing with WWE, what's beautiful about it is you want to make that audience, the WWE universe, feel something. So it's like if they are quiet when you step out there, whether it's booing or cheering, you want the noise. You want something.
Yeah.
You need a good guy. You need a bad guy. You need the heel and the face. Because it's a pageantry. It's a show. Yes, we have all the physicality and all that stuff is wild, but people really invest into characters. So I think that's like the superstars that I'm drawn to are the ones that really go all the way in and captivate audiences. Like John has stepped away from the business and then come back. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. And there's multiple guys like that. Look at Ric Flair. Look, Rock is another one. That they got it. But when Rock first started too, they were like, nah, you know, he had to settle into his moment. But that's also another thing is that they were given those opportunities to continue to evolve and grow. There's other superstars that sometimes you only get one shot. And if you don't, you know, hit it out the park, then it's a wrap. And now, you know, what wrestling has progressed where there's other companies that are doing an AEW where other superstars have an opportunity to go and continue on, where at the time WWE was it. So that's all you were chasing. That's all where you were trying to get to that level of that, you know, echelon and be on television. So yeah.
Man. And now you have go ahead.
All right.
I was just gonna say now you have the wrestlers reoccurring coming and going to do movies, coming back here and there. Is that something that you want to do? That would be your goal?
Well, that's kind of what happened when I stepped away in 2017. I did my first movie with Nicolas Cage and Faye Dunaway. Inconceivable. You can watch it on Netflix. But yeah, that was kind of like the dream too, was to be kind of that go and come back, because I don't think that at the time really a female has done that. And so of course I like to be the first of doing everything, you know. So they had The Rock doing the crossover from, you know, he started wrestling and then he went into entertainment and killed it. And now obviously you have John, you had Batista has done it as well. But I didn't really see any women superstars that have done that. So of course I wanted to take on that role and see if I could do it. So I stepped away in 2017, and that's when I kind of started and did a couple films and TV shows. And then I came back in 2021. So, I mean, the door is like, I'll always go back. Always, you don't burn any bridges. And I feel like I'm such a shit stirrer and a heat magnet that I like to always go back and stir something up, you know, and get the crowd riled up in some capacity.
I want to explore those layers, that if you will.
I feel bad I feel bad I'm taking up so much time. I feel
this is about you.
Okay. I feel like Prime was in the chat and then I saw him leave, so I feel bad.
Yeah, well, he's having connection issues.
Okay.
So he tried to log on and join us for this 100th. He's still trying, so he may pop back in. But I think he's out at Country Prime in the middle of Canton, Texas, so his signal is pretty weak. So we'll try to get him on as well. So no, that was not your fault.
Good. I didn't want to be rude, and I didn't want anybody in the chat being like, "What happened to him?"
No,
I
was looking forward to introducing y'all, having y'all on the screen at the same time.
I know
he's still trying as well. You know, you just had last night, Angel Reese, WNBA, did the Victoria's Secret one way. And, you know, a lot of people always try to challenge folks when you're doing more than they think you should do. And it really happens to women a lot when you put the sexuality piece in it. And worst kept secret, you're drop dead gorgeous and you do all these multiple things like working in recovery, blah, 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 blah. Do you ever find that like some people try to discredit it because of the looks, or do the looks help it? Like women have to walk a tightrope in that regard that sometimes men don't even have to think about.
Sure. I think, and this is obviously evolved too, because when I first stepped into WWE, I was learning so many things, like from the business to all these different elements that were very life-changing for me at the time. And then also when I wanted to step into the entertainment space and like do a first film, that's when things really started to shift for me, because I was told to dumb down my look, don't wear any makeup, my personality is a little extra, and like all these things. But so I struggled with it, trying to, in a sense, conform. And then honestly, once I started to settle in and seek the word, like God made me exactly how I'm supposed to be. And there's something that I think makes people have a sense of fear when you start stepping outside the box. Like, I'm not just one dimensional, that's the hard thing for people to see, where it's, you can do multiple things if you put your all in them and love doing them, because then it's going to shine and it's going to show. And I think earlier on in my own personal career, I was continuously told to be in a box, whichever that may be. You're just going to be Eva Marie. You're just going to be, if you want to be an actress, you have to completely switch everything and just be that actress. But God filled me with everything. So I need to shine in all the aspects that I love doing. And I think that for women, it's, if you own it, people can see that. I think it's awesome that she was able to walk in that show. So is it?
It was awesome for me.
What's the, like, the big question is it because it's in lingerie and she's an athlete? So like, we have to ask ourselves like real questions. So what's the issue? Is it because she walked out on a runway and killed it, and she's supposed to be just what, you want her to just play basketball? Like, which one is it? Like, what's the issue? Why can't we have multiple things that we do? I mean, look at the difference in college. They have the NIL deals. Oh my gosh. It's setting people up that might not be able to continue on in MLB or NFL and things of that nature, where people have their 2 cents to say about that also. So it's like, the question is, even goes a little bit deeper, is like, why can't we as humans do multiple things? Like, we're mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, people are pastors, and then they go to their 9 to 5. Like, we're meant to do many things in life. So why do we want to put and continuously put ourselves and only say we can do one thing? That's not true.
The chat is absolutely loving you.
Oh, yes.
Some of those comments. Even got a question for you from our guy, C. Maven, $21 super chat. Appreciate the support, C. Maven. Got a question for Eva. How do you stay feminine, beautiful, and strong, yet protect yourself in the world of WWE, where toughness is currency, but grace is rare?
Okay, C. Maven.
Dang, that's a solid question. I mean, honestly, it's like, I always believe in everything, for me at least, is mind, body, and soul. So number one that I got to take care of is my mind. Mind is, if you can master your mind, you can master your life. And so my morning routines don't shift too much. I've realized early on that I'm a happier, joyful individual for people that I work with or anybody that's around me if I'm doing these things and staying disciplined. So, and I always believe health is wealth. So being in the gym, obviously is going to give you that physical strength, but also you're building your self-esteem, because you're telling yourself that you're going to show up and it doesn't have to be some crazy workout. It can be just like walking for 30 minutes outside. But I always spend my time in the morning with God and seeking the word, because I forget. I have an easy forgetter of certain things, and our world is always like kind of, constantly telling us certain things, and I find truth in his word. So that gives me confidence on who I am, which then I'm able to move and handle situations in life the way that I want to be, because I always think that he's watching me. So I want to make him proud, because I know that I'm his, and I think that kind of spills in to all other elements of my life, as long as that is my number one, because trust and believe, I have tried to take that reign back and be like, I got this. Let me get in the driver's seat, and then I crash that bitch into the wall and burn shit up. Like, that's where I go. I'm 0 to 100. There ain't nothing, like, I'm either all in or, off the rails. So, and I have learned through my trials and tribulations and falling down flat on my face, God humbling me, that is my true number one, like, core thing, which then helps me spill into everything else. Cause I love being a beast in the gym, but I love being graceful and like a woman. and embracing that too, because you can be both, because that's what I feel, that's how I was made to be, you know? So it's like really finding, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time too, to be comfortable with who you are and what that is.
Yeah.
But it's constant, and it's a daily thing. It's not like you get the answers right away. It's like I work on myself every single day, because when I don't, it's not good for not only myself or anybody else that's around me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I'll be trying
Yeah,
to tell Uncle Neely and them that same thing. Don't come around me.
Hey, I wanted to ask. So sometimes we see people when they do a great job playing a role, it bleeds over into their regular life. Like we heard about Jamie Foxx saying that Terrence Howard on the movie Ray, he was like, Terrence Howard was acting like his character in the movie when they were out. Or we saw, and tragically, we saw how some people think that the Joker role may have played a role with Heath Ledger. Did you ever struggle to separate your roles when you had to walk outside of the ring and into your regular life? Or did you have anybody in that locker room that you were like, is he doing this, or is she taking this role a little too seriously?
I think for me, it was hard because right out the gate, I was a bad guy. And so I was a heel. I'm forever probably going to be one. And I'm very fortunate and happy that happened, because it established me really, really quick with the WWE universe. However, I had a really difficult time with, like, it's the polar opposite of who I truly am as a person. So having that like duality of people thinking that it's you, but not really, because it's a character, where in a movie, you very much know that you're playing Joker, or you're very much playing another person in that film, where like you have a Jamie Foxx and then he steps into a role and he's playing Ray. You know what I'm saying? Where in WWE, especially, like, I go by my middle name, so, and I was on a reality show, so it kind of spilled over of like, is that really her? Is that how she really acts? But it's also another character. And then you tune into the reality show, and it's like you get bits and pieces of truly who I am, from my family to the things I struggle with. So that was a hard thing, because there wasn't too much separation, but I never had an issue when I did meet a fan or somebody in person. Always the best interaction. It was, I struggled internally by seeing the online comments of like, coming for me like wildfire, where I'm like, what? Why are you talking shit? I'm like, cool. I'm nice. I'm sweet. I'm trying to do the best I possibly can. I love this business. I love this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Where is also a character defect of mine, where it's like, you know, I want everybody to like me and I want to people please. But it's like you have to be able to separate the two within yourself. So you can't rely on other people's opinions to affect you. And hopefully, especially if you want to switch it to like the acting world with movies and things, hopefully you have somebody in your corner, like a wife, a spouse, somebody that's like, bro, like, that ain't you. Because it will take people, because there is I forget what it's called. It's it's a method, a form of acting that they do turn into that character for
method acting, yeah.
For that majority of that time. So like if it takes a year to film something, they will be that person for an entire year, which is wild and a whole nother art. But that's also another element, you know, because they're able to kind of hone in and like separate themselves for that year for that specific role. They're not like going and doing life.
They don't break character.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is
wild.
We
got a comment. It's not a question. Got a comment for you.
Okay.
And then I got a question for you. This comment is from Miss Dawn Duncan, regular viewer of the show. She says, it's abundantly clear that she prioritizes her mental health by the way she so eloquently speaks about her journey. What's your response to that when you hear that about you?
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, that makes me feel so good, because it's been a hell of a ride to get to where I'm at today. Like, I'm gonna be the first one to say it. Like, I can't sugarcoat anything, and it would be silly to sit here and say, oh my gosh, you know, everything is amazing. And it wasn't a struggle, because there's moments of darkness, I think, in all of our life. But the thing that I have learned with that is it's always darkest before the dawn. So if you can hang in and you can, that's where true like growth comes from. Really is a testament of the work that I've done for so long, you know? So it's like seeing a comment like that, it means the world to me.
And here's my question to you, because let me set it up with this. I appreciate the video that you did for my brother when he reached his birthday, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched his journey along the way, there were certain things, certain environments, certain people, activities that he had to remove himself from until he got to where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
And as I look at when you say that you were 5 weeks out of recovery when you got the job and your journey through it seems like it's an aggressive, addictive industry, no matter what the addiction may be. How was it trying to navigate your path, but yet working in an environment that's counter to the path?
That's such a good question. I think one, timing is crucial. So I was ready because I had gotten my first run with sobriety at 23 initially. Shout out to my older brother because he's the one that kind of, opened that door for me to see. And after that, once I thought that I could take it in my own hands, I had 3 years of sobriety and then I relapsed and went down to a pretty dark place. And so I think me getting the WWE opportunity at 28 and fresh out of rehab, I had the wherewithal and the self-awareness of like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and you will be the one to fuck it up. So like, you better hunker down and do what you know that has worked. So I write a lot, not every morning I try to, but sometimes, we're moving and shaking and things. And Matthew McConaughey has said it too. He has a great book, Green Lights, is that if you write a lot, you're able to go back in certain aspects and parts of your life where things are moving. He always refers them to the green lights, things are cooking, feeling good. And to look where you're at. What are you doing? What are your disciplines that have you, consistently been doing? Is there something that is consistent? And then likewise with any time that is like kind of bad or you're going through it. And so I knew better where for me, I've tried sobriety in many, many different ways, trying to white knuckle it, tried to do all the things that I thought that I could. But what really works for me is I got to work a 12-step program. I got to have a sponsor. I got to go to meetings. I got to sponsor other women and stay tight and stay as best as I possibly can. So as soon as I got the job, I put my tail between my legs and I called up my old sponsor because in the program, you get to a certain step where you basically confess all the things that you think that you've either done or that you care, all your secrets per se. So I remember calling her back up because at 26, I was like, thank you, Mo. I love you. Thank you for giving my life back, but I'm good. I'm cool. I'm straight. I'm out, And she was like, okay. So then here we go. 28, put my tail between my legs, called her back up. Because I didn't want to put my shit out on the street with anybody else. I'd already done it with her. So I said, hi, Mo. It's me. I'm back. Will you take me? And then luckily enough, she took me back and she's my sponsor today. So I've known her for 20 plus years, which is wild to think. And then, work the steps. And I don't work it perfectly either. But that's, I think, for me, what maintained my sobriety throughout the crazy journey of starting in WWE. We're on the road 290 days out of the year. At the time, I was like freshly engaged too. So I was like navigating a real, like trying to do a healthy relationship. And then Total Divas, which is a reality show. So if I didn't have that anchor, I would have embarrassed my family because if I was in my addiction on that show, especially on Total Divas, it'd be on and popping. I'd probably be on TMZ every damn week. Not in a good way.
Yeah. One of the things my brother shared with me, I asked him, I said, man, what was the difference between try 3 and tries 1 and 2 that the third time worked? And he said that he had to come to the understanding that there is no cure, that this is him for the rest of his life. And so the first 2 times he thought, okay, I beat it, I'm done. I went through the little program, now I'm good, versus understand like, no, this is something you're going to fight every day that you're walking.
Absolutely. And I think that it says it perfectly because when I walked in at 23, I still had that like little cocky attitude, sit in the back, like I ain't like these people. I'm not supposed to be here, whatever little things that you say, but it's like, clearly, bitch, you're in here because I'm on a goddamn court card. You know what I'm saying? Like I got here by my bad decisions. So, and I think that I had that inkling in my brain where I could control it still, or I got this under, I can do this, or I'm not weak or something, you know, that's like kind of false. And I really had a hard time with the fact that I was going to struggle and have to do this for the rest of my life. So I think hit the nail on the head as soon as I tried after a couple other stints, my last journey, I think I really just surrendered and was like, you know what, clearly doing it my way ain't working. So let's go all in.
Hey,
love that.
Let me ask your thoughts on this, because
you have kicked some ass today.
Look, everybody has.
Oh my God, how cute. Look at that.
And that's out his personal collection.
Okay.
This man,
I see you.
He's got a little shrine with candles, you know.
That is what I'm talking about.
Okay, yes, that's all mine. But
So
what were your thoughts when you first saw some of your action figures out there?
Well, what's crazy is it was such a wild, it still is. It's still insane to me because you just like sometimes, and that's why I know I talk about like my faith a lot, but it's hard not to, because as a kid you have a lot of dreams and you have a lot of things that you want to accomplish and achieve, but then God always does things that is like exceedingly abundantly more than I can ever imagine or think. And that right there, what you just showed, is something that I never even like, so much better than what I've ever even thought of. You know, my mom's a hairdresser, so I used to go to the salon when she was cutting hair, and I had to get Barbies, but I would cut the Barbies' hair. Like my brothers was like, don't ever be a hairdresser because all your Barbies are bald. Like, damn. But and then to fast forward, so many years later, it's like, damn, now I have action figures and Barbie dolls is wild, more than I could even think. So it's like, whatever you think that you want or dream or desire, God can do so much more.
Better preach.
The bar.
Chico is a pastor too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, he went kind of.
Well, when you go to medical school and drop out, it's kind of like that with theological. He dropped out, so he's a pastor to us, but yeah, not really.
I like it.
He's a freelance,
a freelance pastor.
Contractor pastor.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I wanted to ask, before, this is probably what's next for you? Like, what do you see next? We've seen you do a ton of things, and really, in a short period of time, your resume is long for as long as you've been in the forefront. Like, what's next?
Two things. So right now, I partnered when I came out here. I'm sitting in the podcast studio right now, but originally I just came out here as a guest to be on the show to share my experience, strength, and hope. And I was really to do a favor for a girlfriend of mine that I was for my former business partner. And then I had written down 10 years ago, or 12 now, as soon as I got out of treatment, I wrote down, God, if you can give me a team in some capacity, I have no idea what that looks like. But if I could work in treatment in some way, I would really love to do that. Fast forward, I hope God doesn't do that with all my wishes and dreams and all desires and make me wait a decade. But then fast forward 10 years later, I walked into the Infinity Group and met the executive team, did the podcast, hit just usually when God moves in my life for certain big situations, they happen easily and effortlessly. So I came in on July 27th of 2023 as a guest. I flew back out in August, signed papers to partner with the team, and then came back November 4th full time because in October I go hunting. So as soon as November came, I went all in. So the last 2 years, I've been here doing not only the podcast, but also we have 7 different facilities with different levels of care. I opened up my first detox and residential 7 months ago, NEM Recovery Centers, which is now giving back to the community what was so freely given to me. But there's so much more. I want to go global, because so many of us live in shame about our addictions and our pain, and there needs to be more conversation about it, where it's like, no one's alone. It's just everything help is available and hope is alive, you know? And it's like people have lost a lot of others to the fentanyl crisis, which is a tragedy. That's how the podcast started. Our CEO lost his son-in-law. But you know what is in my brain of what I want to do? So I love sports. I live for them. My dad is like an encyclopedia. You ask him any team, any player, anything, he'll give you stats left and right. He always calls me or I call him and talk shit on Saturday and Sunday, especially when Coach Prime is playing, you know? That's what I have to highlight too, is that it's a really beautiful thing to see somebody where the media likes. I think that it's something innate in us to want to see somebody fail or not to do well. And so why I admire Coach Prime and his family is because I don't think people understand the massive amount of scrutiny and like where they're under a dang microscope. And so it's like they always are so eloquent and like stand strong and have so much faith. And I think that's a beautiful thing because as humans, we sometimes react on emotion and they don't. They like to, you know, very reserved and respectful and keep pushing. And I love that. But leading into what I want to do, I would love to be some type of sports commentator, like whether it's in the NFL, MLB, college football. I don't even know what position. I don't have a broadcasting degree, but I don't think I need one. I can talk with the best one. I can interview some
none
coaches.
of us have one either.
There you go. You know, so we'll see. But
like I know,
but I would love to do that. I haven't. It's been on my for whatever reason, it's been in me to want to do that for quite some time. So that would be, you know, stepping outside of the box once again, doing something else. But at the moment, you know, is really opening up more NEM recovery centers and taking it kind of global.
Yeah, well, I think I speak for everybody. I think we got, you know, definitely have a seat available. You want
okay.
Right here.
You guys, you heard it first. You heard the boys in the chat. Right. You know, hold them to it.
Right.
Well, you know, Dukes, you certainly did a job speaking for me because I would love to have her as well. But because she's my friend, I do want to point out before you decide to join on with us, you want to double check Chico's paperwork because he started with the payments. You know, you might be used to 30 days payable, 45 days, net 60. I don't know. With Chico,
that's
it really just it ain't no telling when it's coming. That like you might not ever get it.
That's a lie.
Trust me, I've been in those situations too.
Shout out to Vic's my man. You know,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Just play it around, man. Hey,
now we just found out we was interning the other day, so it's cool.
No, you know what? Don't listen to those guys over there.
Yeah, this is our 100th episode, but it took me 98 to learn I was volunteering.
Do you want to give a shout out to anybody out there other than Uncle Neely out here in this world today? You know, whether it's your hometown, family, friends, you know, mentees, mentors, whatever. Give a shout out.
I mean, I have so many people to shout out. We ain't got that much time, but of course, my parents. God, number one, my parents, because you know, I have to give them so much credit for just showing truth, strength, and what it is to persevere in all things that, honestly, looking back, I mean, not only should they have gotten a divorce dealing with like myself and all my brothers, but I just appreciate everything that they instilled in me as a child, because now I understand it and can look back and be thankful for that. And then obviously shout out to you boys too and doing what you're doing, because I mean, like I said, I've been a fan, so it's cool for me to sit and be on the show tonight with you guys and celebrate your 100th episode, because that's huge. Because people forget, like when you see the product, it's like, oh, it's cool, it's easy, that's fun. It's like it requires effort. Like this shit is not as easy as people think that it is. Like, yes, of course, you sit in front of the camera and you talk and you shoot the shit, but then all the back end stuff of like putting the video together, doing all that requires effort. So you know, I want to shout out my team here. I have young Emily, I call her. She's our producer and takes care of all of our stuff on the podcast, and she's the one that set me up today. So shout out to her and the entire Infinity team that I partnered with, because I truly do feel that I'm living in my purpose, which I struggled with for a very long time of like, you know, figuring that out until I got here 2 years ago. And then a little shout out to everybody that's feeling lost or alone, is that you're not, you know, help is available, hope's alive, and we all struggle, but we're all one and the same, and we all struggle, and we all have some type of pain within us. But that doesn't mean that you're lost, because everybody was created. I truly believe that God made us all equal, like with a desire to do something with our lives. And we just sometimes need somebody to help us pull that light out so that we can shine with that. So
and if they need help, let them know the number to call.
oh yeah,
right
all you
at
have
the
to
bottom.
honestly, we'll make it real easy. All you have to do is just go to the Hopeaholics Instagram page, or go to the NEM Recovery Instagram page, and the number's right there, or our website. So 24/7 help is available.
There you go.
Love that. Love that. Love you. Appreciate you coming by.
Yes. I know.
Good
I
night.
only, honestly, I love you guys, because I was only supposed to be on here for 10 minutes because I had another thing that I was jumping onto, but obviously I was vibing. So I was like, I'm on God's time, baby.
Hey, that's
Hey!
good.
You're welcome back anytime. You don't have to wait till the 200th episode.
Okay.
We'll make sure that your paperwork with Chico is sound, and you'll get taken care of before even Dukes and I. Because it's gonna probably we got to go to Supreme Court to get ours. You might be able to do something locally.
Hey,
I love that. You know what? And also too, you guys, before I exit, because I did see that Coach Prime had popped on, I just wanted to send prayers to him too, because watching him go through his struggle from the blood clots to the bladder cancer and stuff, and him do what he's doing is a testament of like the strength of when the power is in you. Like God is good. So shout out to him, because man, he shows up.
Man, listen, I know one thing. Chico the Reverend, I'm the deacon. Do we have a deaconess or a first lady sitting in that corner right there? I hear it. I hear it. Hello.
I like that.
Okay, now. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, you guys. Appreciate y'all. And congratulations again, and thank you for having me. That's right.
Thank you.
Let's love.
All right. Bye, guys.
Yes, indeed.
Man, yeah. Natalie Eva Marie, the diva. What you talking about? And Coach, look, shout out to Coach Prime for trying. I was reserving him as the surprise guest, and he hit me and said, "Dog, I'm ready to send a link," but the signal just didn't work
and you
out.
know what?
We get him regrouped for tomorrow.
I saw him getting ready. I just want to say, I hope I didn't. I was trying to add him on and stuff like that. I hope I didn't add him too fast, because he was on there like how Denzel was trying to get it right. Him and Sam.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't add him too fast, and he's like, "Dog, why you add me on that one? I'm trying to get right though. What you doing?" So
at the end of the day, at the end of Chico, I'm glad you mentioned it, because at the end of the day, I am gonna blame you. Like, that's gonna happen.
Blame it on the cheek. Got you feeling weak.
Blame it on the good, man. Hey, man.
That was a great interview.
Hey, Chico, first of all, I want to apologize, man, for the private chat. Because, look, I thought it was just us in there. I didn't think she was going to see that. I forgot that she could see
it. You know what?
Let me go see what happened.
Y'all keep talking. I got to go use the restroom.
Hey, look, the first one was like the first message is for us. The second message was me trying to clean it up when I realized she could see it. My bad, Chico.
Y'all are hell, man.
I ain't know. I forgot. I was like, hey, man, it's 4 people. I clean.
So what happens is when somebody's on the show with us, they're in the private chat with us too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm hiding it from them, from the chat.
Yeah.
Like we usually do. I'm like, oh hell, she in here too. I had to clean it up for sure. I cleaned it up though.
You did. And let me tell you this: the stuff that we normally say each other privately, it could have been much worse.
Oh man. I cleaned it up though, man.
But based on where she has grown up with 4 brothers and where she has worked and been through, I'm sure she's heard worse.
Yeah, but the funny part is, I was telling the truth.
You did not lie. You did not lie.
I told the truth.
I read it 3 times. You did not lie.
Told the truth.
You knew she could see in the chat.
No,
it's like the chat say Dukes is a whole troll.
Trying to act like he ain't know Chico.
Oh my bad. You know what? My bad. I ain't know. My bad. You know what I'm saying? When people get on the thing, they see I ain't know Chico.
I did.
Then he tried to make a deaconess and first lady on the way out. You heard it?
Yeah, tried to make a commit, did it? Well, you ain't.
Hey,
Hey,
but what I did, I put you at
show.
who I said with the pastor though.
Deuce to Eva Marie is Chico to Shasta. The whole ball game change.
Oh yeah. But who did I put first?
Who you
The
said
pastor?
first?
Yeah.
You said
You
was the
Chico the
pastor?
pastor. I'm just
I'm
the
the pastor?
deacon.
No, he
Oh,
said
yeah.
you the pastor.
You the pastor.
I'm the leader of the usher board.
Yeah,
Usher
man.
board number 1.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
No, but Chico, it really wasn't your fault. Prime coach texted me and said the sound wasn't connected and it was buffering on his end.
Right. I saw that in the back. I saw them trying to get on, but I also saw that it wasn't muted and I couldn't hear anything. So I knew that was a problem.